man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you. Get 18% off. We out.
All right, man. We know Bill Haney stepped down as a trainer, and I respect him for doing that, man. Because there's a lot of fathers in the game that wouldn't do that. And usually you got the fathers that bump heads. I mean, you talk about Jack Mosley and Shane. They parted ways. Floyd Sr. and Jr., they had their issues even though they reunited. Who else you got? Roy Jones and Roy Jones Sr. Or Jr. and Sr. parted ways. People forget that because Roy Sr. wanted Roy to move a certain way, and Roy felt that he wanted to control his own career. Man, you got a lot of them, right? And usually, they mostly don't have a happy ending. And Devin and Bill, I think Bill is kind of young enough not to be as stubborn as those other guys were. He cared about his son enough, more than he cared about his ego. All right? And I respect him for that. But let's talk about Devin fighting Linares next, and we'll talk about T.O., what he said about T.O. But word on the street is he trying to fight Linares. Now, I heard they turned down that fight at one point in the past, okay? And some people say Linares got the better story, but I know somebody that's seen it, and they said that Devin, I trust him, Devin got the best of the sparring, okay? But the word from where I heard it from is that Devin don't want to fight Javier Fortuna. And I don't blame him. You get more credit for beating Linares. You get more credit for beating a lot of these guys. I mean, they could have did Nakatani. I don't know if I'm pretty sure Top Rank got options on him. But if Top Rank was smart, I'd send Nakatani over there to fight Devin Haney. Just as PBC was smart, I would have sent like Sean Porter, Ugas, Omar Figueroa. I sent all of them over to fight Terrence Crawford. Why not? If one of them win, Lipinets, and I heard that Bob Aaron wanted options on Lipinets. But if that was me personally, I would have just sent a lot of the dudes that don't generate that type of money over there to beat Bud. But apparently they don't want to fight Fortuna, who's that mandatory. Okay. And, I understand why. Fortuna, like Santiago, he rough, he tough. And really, to be honest, I don't think Devin Haney is experienced enough to beat Fortuna easy. And that's just my opinion. I think he don't have enough experience, but I think if he went through that fight, that can be like his Emmanuel Augustus fight that it was for Floyd. Just a fight that really you go through adversity, but the guy ain't like so experienced where you can't make it through that adversity and you lose, okay? Or you get the benefit of the doubt. And I think, that's an interesting fight. Fortuna. And then the thing about they got going on, Fortuna just went up 5 pounds not too long ago. So he gonna be a drainer, man. I think it's a fight that got to get Devin over that hump. Who did you beat? Well, I beat Javier Fortuna, former world champion, who some people think should be a former 2-time world champion for beating Robertson Jr. But you're going through that fight, you're gonna get headbutt, you're gonna get pulled, your elbows, your arms gonna get pulled. It's going to be a tough fight. But at this point, he should want to embrace a tough fight. But guess what? The reward ceiling is too low for them to take that fight. And with Linares, two things for sure. Even though Fortuna been knocked out, if you start hitting Linares, he going to fold. He out of his prime more than Fortuna is. I think Fortuna is still got some time in his physical prime. But that's just a guy, they targeted a guy. They fought in the gym, a guy that I heard they easily beat in sparring. And it's just sparring. You don't win that. I heard it's a guy, the guy they familiar with. And they feel confident in fighting him. And Linares get another title shot. But I do think that Devin Haney at this point is too tough of a fight for Linares. Linares known for getting his face chopped up. And to me, he one of the most overrated fighters. I'm not being disrespectful to him. I think he's one of the most overrated fighters to the fans. I'm going to say even in the media. I just didn't see at one point where he was in video. He lost to Antonio DeMarco. After he lost to Edwin Rosario, I'm talking about DeMarco, or that could have been Linares and Adrian Broner. And I heard him and Broner spar. I think Peter Clue talk about it. And Adrian Broner just destroyed Jorge Linares. So I think Devin Haney is just too talented. And I'm surprised they ain't try to put Gervonta in there with Jorge Linares. They talking about him fighting Abner Mares if his hand ain't that bad. I don't want to see that shit. But, Linares for me, for Devin Haney, it ain't like, to me, and I know this dude coming off a loss, but I thought the Luke Campbell kind of solidified Ryan more. Then again, I think Devin Haney, it take a little bit more to get solidified than Luke Campbell or Linares. I think Devin Haney got to beat Gervonta. He got to beat Teofimo Lopez, Nakatani. He got to be one of those guys. I don't understand why they don't fight Lee Selby. I thought he beat Camboso. Or he got to move up and fight somebody. To me, Fortuna would be the name. Fortuna, Teofimo Lopez, Nakatani, Lomachenko. Those would be the names. At lightweight, that's going to get him there. But as far as him beating up Jorge Linares, I never thought of Jorge Linares being a great fighter or being a fighter, even at this point, that's going to tell me if Devin Haney going to be a star or not. So, personally, I can pass the bone, kid, pass the bone. I can pass the bone on that one. People don't know that was the Jizza genius in Prince Rakim, known as the RZA right now. But yeah, they can pass the bone on that one for me. I don't smoke that cess. I don't smoke that reefer, that nigga weed. I don't smoke that. But apparently, Devin Haney saying Teofimo Lopez asked for $10 million to get him a shot. And that's what Al Heyman fighters do. Al Heyman fighters ask for a high number, astronomically high number to cross the street. Something that Al don't even be paying them. And I don't blame him. He wanted $2 million to go to Australia. So if that's his price, you can purchase Undisputed for $10 million. And to be honest, I think that'd be a good fight. I would probably favor T.O. just knowing he more of a known commodity. But what if Devin Haney got his number? So that's a hot number. He ain't made nowhere near that. He would have made, they said he would have made what? 3 for fighting. If he fought Lomachenko, 3, 4, maybe even $5 million in Undisputed. But that's his number. You can't really change his mind. He got every belt, so he ain't relinquished none. So he really controlled the floor of the division. Gervonta want to go on and say they want to say he the A side of T.O. If they could beat T.O., they'd make the fight happen. Gervonta don't want to fight nobody. So you ain't got to worry about him, So if I'm a competitor and I in that class, I don't have to worry about him because he ain't gonna fight nobody that can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. He not, but that's him. But I would love to see Teofimo Lopez fight Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney got more boxing skills. But I think Teofimo Lopez gonna fight night. He a more composed, more experienced fighter. And I think if he can time Devin to hit him, I think it'll be a different fight. But if Devin can stick and move and not get hit with his power, it'll be a good fight. But really, Teofimo Lopez also said that article I seen today that he don't see Devin Haney as a challenge. But good fight. Came up in the gym together a little bit, sparring each other. But I would love to see that fight. But I think right now, Devin Haney need that division. He need that win that's gonna solidify him in that division. And I think I don't think Rolly will be that win, but if he wants some clout and he wants his name to get out there, I think he should fight Rolly. Rolly can punch too, so it'll be a good fight. It'll be the boxer puncher, or the puncher trying to knock out the boxer. But I think that's a great fight, man, and make just for clout. But if he fight Linares, it's a solid fight. And he don't want to fight Teofimo Lopez, they can fight at 140, 147. So it don't matter if Ryan and Devin and T.O. don't fight each other right now, because they can fight each other down the line. But Tank ain't going up that far. So, and plus he ain't fighting nobody regardless. But let me know what you guys think. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Appreciate the love, support. All my social media links in the description. I also have a Facebook group. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. Best way to donate. Share the video. Let me know what you guys think about Devin Haney fighting Linares next. Just a rumor.
Belief about
no, I'm on the phone.
You on the phone?
Yeah.
You looking at my baby?
No, I ain't looking at him. No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, man. Next time we come outside, don't be staring and shit like that. I don't like that.
I wasn't looking at him.